Celebrations for 8th of March or International Women's Day have continued across North and East Syria in Kurdish, Arab and ethnically diverse regions. Women's centers in the major cities of Tabqa and Aleppo have held events to mark the eve of the festival, along with women's activists in the Shehba region, populated by Kurdish IDPs. International Women's Day is celebrated with major events across regions such as North and East Syria, which follows the teaching of imprisoned Kurdish leader Abdullah Öcalan in placing an special importance on women's role in society. This included celebrations in the major Arab city of Tabqa, liberated from ISIS in 2016 by the Syrian Democratic Forces, a coalition made up both Arab and Kurdish units. Folk music, arts and performance were on display at the celebration, including from the regional Turkmen minority. A play about women suffering under slavery, such as that experienced by many women during ISIS rule, was also performed. There were also performances of revolutionary music and culture, including a play named Capitalism at a celebration in the Kurdish enclave of Sheikh Maqsoud, which lies within the otherwise Syrian regime-controlled city of Aleppo. Women exiled from the Afrin region were also invited to a cultural event in the Shehba exclave, home to hundreds of thousands of women displaced during Turkey's devastating 2019 invasion. In speeches, female activists highlighted the role of women in fighting for their rights and autonomy against Turkey, ISIS and other opponents. Kurdish and Arab population centers will continue to see a wide range of events into 8th of March itself and beyond, organized under the slogan, "We will protect our revolution together and liberate our lands." Arab women have held a march in the Arab region of Deir-Ez-Zor 3 years on from the region's liberation from ISIS. The march through the town of Jizrat in the troubled region, which suffers from a major ISIS insurgency claiming hundreds of lives annually, was organized under the slogan, "Creating humanity is impossible without the participation of women." Deir-Ez-Zor is one of the 7 regions which together make up for the autonomous administration of North and East Syria. As the last region of Syria to be liberated from ISIS, Deir-Ez-Zor suffered massive damage to its infrastructure, while the region is still plagued by a violent ISIS insurgency despite the terrorist group March 2019 defeat as a territorial force by the Syrian Democratic Forces. To this day, women who work with the autonomous administration or as affiliated security institutions are liable to be targeted by the ongoing ISIS insurgency in Deir-Ez-Zor. With the local women's houses, female members of the Asayish and members of the Kongresstar Women's Union have all been targeted or assassinated by ISIS sleeper cells. Meanwhile, local women face prejudice and discrimination in civil society and violence and discrimination in the home. The women's revolution here has been a source of inspiration for all women in the world to intensify their struggle, said Nida Mohammed of the Women's Coordination Committee. "We celebrate 8th of March to celebrate the achievements of women in this." Women were a special target of the ISIS terror organization, which denied them even the basic rights. Even young girls were unable to access rudimentary education, while women were unable to leave the home without a male chaperone. Many other women, including thousands of Yazidis, lived as slaves and were bought and sold for sexual use. But as of 2022, women are able to march through the streets once controlled by ISIS, chanting slogans in support of women's rights and autonomy. Events to mark the March 8th International Working Women's Day, which is the symbol of women's struggle against inequality, exploitation, male-dominated system, and massacres, are continuing to take place. Women from Amit spoke to ANF about the March 8th events. A mass rally in North Kurdistan led by the Free Women's Movement will be organized. The women said that the struggle should not be restricted to a day or a week. Fatma Levent condemned violence against women, labor exploitation, and femicides. "I hope better days will come for women. Women exposed to violence are especially those women who defend themselves. Women should not remain submissive to men. Women who have been subjected to violence should apply to the relevant organizations. We women stand by the victims of violence. Women should always attend rallies and demonstrations. This will be more helpful for us. Celebrating the March 8th events with enthusiasm will make it more meaningful for us. Children are exposed to rape and abuse. We don't want these things. Women cannot enjoy their rights properly. No woman is happy with that. No one is supporting women despite all the problems in the country. Women are standing and I'm happy to see that, Fatma Ergin said. Gülü Algan emphasized that women should struggle for their rights, adding that we should participate in events everywhere. We can unite as women and celebrate that day on March 8th, she said. Helin Yildiz said that she was excited about the March 8th events but could not accept the killing of women every day. Every day a woman is killed and it never ends. This situation discourages us from being excited. No woman should die. We do not live in a normal country. More activities can be organized for women. Activities should not be restricted to just one day or 1 hour. Women should be respected every day, not just one day. Once women are confident, they can achieve anything, Yildiz added. Celebration for 8th of March also reached the Kurdish community living in Europe, with Kurdish women in Stockholm, Sweden organizing an evening reception. The reception, organized by the Kurdish Women's Movement of Sweden and the Women's Collective Foundation, saw both Kurdish expats and local Swedish women attend. Traditional Kurdish food was served, while women heard from speakers addressing the role of imprisoned Kurdish leader Abdullah Öcalan in women's political organization and liberation. The event ended with traditional Kurdish dances and the slogan, "Women Life Freedom." On 8th of March itself, women will gather at the local Kurdish Arts and Culture Association for an exhibition of traditional Kurdish clothes. It is not only women's organizations that are participating in International Women's Day events in North and East Syria, with local men gathering in the city of Hasake for a panel discussion on the patriarchal male mindset and women's right and autonomy. The local branch of the Democratic Union Party organized a seminar in its party offices in the town of Zirgan, or Abu Rasin. Adnan Kalo, a member of the PYD General Assembly, addressed scores of local men. He began by addressing the role of the patriarchal male mindset in building up the modern capitalist system, with a detrimental effect on women. He then highlighted the importance of recognizing women's history, subjectivity, and autonomy as a way to overcome these issues. The talk also focused on autonomous women-led armed formations, such as NES, globally renowned, YPG, as well as the Mirabal sisters who opposed the dictatorship of Rafael Trujillo, or El Jefe, in the Dominican Republic. Men will join marches, protests, and events across NES for 8th of March, though some discussion and events will remain all female. A tree planting campaign is underway in Hajin, Deir-Ez-Zor, 3 years on from the region's liberation from ISIS control. The 2-day campaign saw hundreds of trees being planted in the town, which was one of the very last population centers to remain part of the so-called Islamic State. Those trying to rebuild and improve the region's services and infrastructure face particular challenges, with the ISIS insurgency meaning many projects can only take place for limited daylight hours. Anyone seen as working with the autonomous administration, even as a teacher or municipal employee, is liable to be targeted by ISIS, meaning simple actions like tree planting are difficult to undertake. 200 trees are being planted in the present 2-day campaign, which is taking place on Hajin's 20th Street. Music has no language, religion, nationality, race, or creed. But if you are a woman living in Iran, you cannot take to stage to sing. I feel alive when I sing, Saravasha, a woman singer in Iran, said. If you love to sing, can say what you feel by singing, you are lucky, because women cannot sing freely in Iran. Iranian women are prohibited from singing and playing music. I feel alive when I sing. Saravasha, a woman singer living in Sanadash, told Jinha News Agency. Even though women are prohibited from singing and playing music in Iran, she is determined to sing songs. The young singer has been singing for as long as she can remember. Listening to good songs has become a hobby for me. Listening to music and singing have become a part of my life. When I wanted to make music, no one, of course, encouraged me. Even when I became an object of jokes because no woman took to the stage under the mullah's rule. But no matter what, I know that all branches of art make you feel free, said Saravasha. Despite the ban, Saravasha never loses her hope. After graduating from school, she wanted to study music, but she had to get married due to social pressure. Her husband is never involved in music due to his family pressure. Now, Saravasha teaches music to her children while trying to improve herself in music. I never lose my hope. I hope I can overcome all obstacles, she said. Saravasha now sings songs to her friends and relatives. She wants to be a professional musician. After struggling, I took to the stage twice in Fasher Hall, but I haven't taken to stage for a while due to the COVID-19 pandemic. I keep singing, and I will never stop singing, said Saravasha.
Tagul